It was last Monday morning. I am sitting on my laptop, and I almost spill my coffee.
I open my browser to check what's new in AI. There are 3 new flagship AI models released within a window of just 10 days. Anthropic drops Opus 4.7, xAI quietly releases Grok 4.3, and OpenAI fires back with GPT-5.5. What caused me headache is that Anthropic says Opus 4.7 is their most capable generally available model, OpenAI calls GPT-5.5 their smartest and most intuitive model yet, and xAI, they did not even bother with a press release. And every 24 hours, there was a new winner declared on the internet. I just scratched my head thinking, what on earth is going on here? Which one actually is the best AI, and which one should I really use? Faced with this dilemma, I did what anyone with a little bit of IQ would do in this situation. I solved this complex puzzle, testing and comparing these 3 new models, digging into all the dirty details. I figured out what exactly the strength of each model really is and where it just badly disappointed me. I tested, can Grok 4.3 really pull stunning hidden insights out of an hour-long video that the other models simply cannot touch? Does it actually generate those pristine, professional presentations and documents from totally raw, jumbled-up data, the kind my boss loves to see on his desk first thing Monday morning? Has GPT 5.5 really nailed autonomous AI agents? Can I actually trust it to handle extremely crucial confidential tasks while I'm out picking my kid up from school and come back to find it done correctly? And is Opus 4.7 really the king of precision, or is it the worst thing Anthropic have thrown at us in years? I tested all of it, and I have condensed every finding into what you're going to see in the next 10 minutes. And the most important part is what I'm calling the honest section. It contains what literally saved my friend from getting fired for almost choosing the wrong AI. Most reviews skip it entirely. This one does not. Let's get into it.
Before we get into what the benchmark story tells us, here is the most useful thing I have figured out about these 3 new models.
And honestly, this one insight alone could save you weeks of going in the wrong direction. These companies are not building the same thing. They're not even competing in quite the same category. It's just like sitting at your desk trying to compare a precision scalpel, a sledgehammer, and a live wire connected directly to the internet and wondering which one is the best. And unknown to the majority users, that is exactly the case with these 3 models. While I find Opus 4.7 to be the scalpel, built for precision, it is the most literal, most instruction-following Claude model Anthropic has ever shipped. For developers running complex multi-file coding jobs, executing long autonomous tasks, operating sub-agents on production systems, it delivers results its predecessors simply could not reach. But that same precision is exactly what creates what I am calling the precision trap. The moment you throw it a vague prompt, the way most of us actually work, it takes your words at face value and completely misses the point you were implying. It rewards explicit inputs. It punishes vague ones. GPT 5.5 is like the sledgehammer, built for execution, not planning, execution. Give it a messy, unstructured task with no clear brief and it struggles, but give it a precise, well-specified plan and it carries that plan through with a boldness and follow-through I had not seen from any model before. It is right now the strongest model available for computer use automation and terminal workflows. And here's the number most people completely missed in the launch coverage. GPT 5.5's long context reasoning performance did not just improve, it doubled in a single model generation. That is not a marginal upgrade, that is a step change. And then there's Grok 4.3, the live wire, built for integration. xAI dropped this quietly on April 17th with no press release, no announcement, just a small banner in the model selector, and it represents a fundamentally different product vision from both competitors. Where Opus and GPT 5.5 are reasoning engines, Grok 4.3 is what I am calling a multimodal information platform. It watches videos, it builds complete professional documents, PDFs, PowerPoints, spreadsheets from a single prompt. It pulls live data from X and the wider web as you query it, not from a training snapshot taken months ago. Right now, today, this morning. And it runs on a 2 million token context window, the largest of the 3, which means it holds entire code bases and research databases in a single conversation without losing the thread. And now, let us get into the actual testing results, because this is where it stops being theoretical and starts being something I can actually show you.
This is where it gets really interesting.
I tested these models myself, digging into every detail. But here is what the industry testing has officially revealed. And honestly, my own findings line up with this pretty closely. On software engineering, SWE Bench verified, Opus 4.7 came in at 87.6%, up from 80.8% on Opus 4.6. Cursor confirmed a 12-point jump on their own internal production benchmark, from 58% to 70%, running real developer tasks, not synthetic tests. Hex ran a 93-task coding evaluation and reported a 13% lift over Opus 4.6, including 4 tasks that neither Opus 4.6 nor Sonnet 4.6 could solve at all. On SWE Bench Pro, the harder multi-file variant, Opus 4.7 sits at 64.3%. GPT-5.5 sits at 58.6%. Opus leads here. On terminal and command line automation, Terminal Bench 2.0, the standings flip completely. GPT 5.5 at 82.7%, Opus 4.7 at 69.4%, a 13.3-point gap, the largest single difference between these two models across every benchmark in this comparison, in either direction. On web research, BrowseComp, which measures multi-step browsing and synthesizing across multiple sources, GPT 5.5 at 89.3%, Opus 4.7 at 79.3%. But the number that really stands out here is not the gap between them. It is this. Opus 4.6 previously scored 83.7% on this exact same test. Opus 4.7 regressed against its own predecessor on this benchmark. Anthropic's own migration guide documents this directly. On reasoning, GPQA Diamond, graduate-level scientific reasoning, Opus 4.7 at 94.2%, up from 91.3% on Opus 4.6. Finance Agent Benchmark, Opus 4.7 at 64.4%, state-of-the-art at release. On long context reasoning, MRCR v2, which tests multi-document retrieval across large volumes of text, GPT 5.5 went from 36.6% to 74.0%. That number doubled in a single model generation. Post-training iterations from GPT 5.0 through GPT 5.4 barely moved it. A full pre-training run is what produced that leap. On the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index, the independent cross-lab ranking, GPT 5.5 sits at 60, the top position at launch, breaking a three-way tie that had held for weeks. Opus 4.7 at 57, Grok 4.3 at 53. On vision, Opus 4.7 jumped from 1.15 megapixels to 3.75 megapixels, more than 3 times the visual capacity of Opus 4.6. Visual navigation benchmark, 79.5% versus 57.7% for Opus 4.6. On Grok 4.3, formal SWE Bench and Terminal Bench data has not been published yet. It is still in beta. What is confirmed, Intelligence Index score of 53, native video comprehension, professional document generation from a single prompt, and live data integration from X and the wider web in real time. Knowledge cutoff, December 2025 with live data on top. Context window, 2 million tokens, the largest of the 3. And these are pretty much my findings as well. The numbers I hit in my own testing tracked closely with what these platforms reported, which is exactly what gives me confidence in what I am about to tell you in the verdict. But before revealing the verdict, there is something that most reviews will not tell you. Every one of these models has real, documented problems, and knowing those problems before we build our workflow around one of them is the difference between saving a big chunk of money for your company or getting fired for choosing the wrong AI. This is the honest section.
But before we move ahead, we would like to know which AI model you prefer the most, Claude, ChatGPT, or Gemini? And would you upgrade to the new models just launched? Do share your choice in the comments.
Starting with Opus 4.7, I opened it on a Tuesday morning, typed the same half-formed prompt I had been using in Claude for over a year, hit enter. The output missed the point entirely. I typed it again, more specifically. It worked, but only barely. That is the precision trap in action. Opus 4.7 is more fragile to prompt wording than Opus 4.6 was in everyday use. Knowledge workers who relied on Claude to infer what they probably meant will find this version noticeably harder to work with. It is not broken, but it demands more from you than its predecessor did. And the documented issues do not stop there. The browse comp regression, down from 83.7 to 79.3%, is acknowledged in Anthropic's own migration guide. 2 API breaking changes hit developers on launch day without warning. Temperature, top P or top K set to any non-default value now returns a 400 error. Production apps broke silently. Thinking content omitted by default. Developers streaming reasoning to users got a long, unexplained pause before any output appeared. Enterprise teams burned through session quota in under 2 hours, stuck in overthinking loops on tasks Opus 4.6 handled smoothly for months. And then there is the hidden tokenizer cost. Up to 35% more tokens for the same input. Listed price unchanged. Actual bill went up on April 16, and if you did not read 4 paragraphs deep into the technical documentation, you simply did not notice. Now, GPT-5.5, it trails Opus 4.7 on multi-file software engineering, tool invocation precision, and design-forward product work, documented gaps, not marginal ones. API was not live for production developers at launch. For any team with a shipping deadline, that single fact ends the conversation. Rate limit at launch, an initial 2,000 messages per week on thinking mode triggered immediate backlash before OpenAI raised it to around 3,000. And one financial context that belongs in any serious infrastructure decision. OpenAI is projecting a $14 billion loss in 2026 and actively preparing for an IPO. A company under that kind of financial pressure makes product and pricing decisions differently. That context matters. Now, Grok 4.3. Beta software. Its limitations are exactly what that word implies. At $300 per month, it is out of reach for most individual users. No formal SWE bench or terminal bench data published yet. Capability comparisons for coding and reasoning are based on user reports, not verified numbers. And because XAI is pushing updates nearly every day, the version you build a workflow around this week may behave differently next month. That is a stability risk the other two simply do not carry. Real limitations, all 3 models, not speculation, documented issues stated plainly, which brings us to the final verdict right now.
So, coming back to the question we started this video with, which is the best new AI model and which one you should really use?
Based on all the testing and findings, including those in the honest section, here is what I have figured out for you by the type of work you are doing. For a software developer working on complex, multi-file codebases, the planner-executor workflow is the answer. Use Opus 4.7 to write the plan. Use GPT-5.5 to execute it. The combination outperforms either model working alone, and the independent benchmark data confirms it. If choosing only one, Opus 4.7 leads on planning, architecture, and precision engineering. For someone working on autonomous AI agents and terminal-based automation, GPT-5.5. The 13.3-point terminal bench gap is the clearest result in this entire comparison. No hesitation here. For a data researcher or analyst working with large document sets, long reports, or multi-source synthesis, 2 answers depending on what the research actually requires. For historical data across multiple sources, GPT-5.5 leads on browse comp by 10 points. For anything where current information matters, what happened this week, what is trending today, what competitors are doing right now, Grok 4.3 is the only model in this comparison pulling live data from X and the web as you query it. The other 2 are working from a snapshot taken months ago. For a content creator, agency owner, or marketing professional producing regular professional deliverables, Grok 4.3 is where I would start. The video comprehension capability and the document generation pipeline open workflows that simply do not exist in the other 2 models. Upload a recording, get a structured summary. Write a rough brief, get a formatted PDF or presentation. These are not incremental improvements, they are new capabilities. For a financial analyst, legal professional, or knowledge worker whose output depends on precision reasoning and genuine judgment, Opus 4.7, state-of-the-art on finance agent benchmark at 64.4%, leads on GPQA Diamond at 94.2%. When the work requires interpretation over execution, Opus 4.7 is consistently the stronger tool. For a developer or engineering team lead who needs to ship something in production right now, Opus 4.7 is the only fully available choice. GPT 5.5 API access was delayed at launch. Grok 4.3 is restricted to a $300 per month beta tier. Opus 4.7 is fully live across all major cloud platforms today: the API, Amazon Bedrock, Google Vertex AI, Microsoft Foundry, all of them from day one. So it pretty much comes down to who you are and what your work actually looks like on a regular working day. There is no single winner here, but there is a right answer for you specifically. New AI models are dropping in every now and then, and we are keeping a track of it all. Subscribe to our channel so you are in loop with the latest news and updates in the ever-evolving AI circuit. And one more thing, the Opus 4.7 bill has gone up by 35%, and most users still do not know why. The hidden tokenizer cost, what it is, how much it is actually adding to your bill, and what Anthropic buried in the documentation is in the video showing up on screen right now. See you there.